Hello, and thank you for attending our 15-minute HR training session. Today, we're discussing incorporating employees within your company. Making a new employee feel welcome is extremely important. First impressions are everything, and you want to make sure that your onboarding process makes new employees feel comfortable right from the get-go. There are several things that human resources and the hiring manager can do to make a new employee's day start good on their first one. So let's get into it. My name is Wendy Christie, and we're going to talk about onboarding. Onboarding and incorporating are two different things. Onboarding is a whole process that runs from advertising to roughly the first year of employment. Incorporating employees is one of the steps of onboarding them. Hiring a qualified candidate is just the start of the hill you are climbing. The next part is making sure they stay. Your goal is to help them feel welcome and integrated easily within your team. Gen Z and Gen Y employees are comfortable leaving after one day if they don't feel the vibe in a company. If your hiring group is in this age group, a program that helps them feel welcome will help your retention rate. Incorporating employees will help new hires become long-term, effective members of your team. Writing a welcome email. One way to welcome a new employee is by writing them a welcome email after you've decided to hire them. Most people do welcome emails like offer letters. These emails include things like details of the job offer, including pay, working hours, information about parking, and dress code. I suggest that a company have a generic email with 3 sections. The first section would be the mission statement. You'd want to talk about the company, how it got started, and things like that. And then within the second would be a statement about the individual hire, something that attracted you to them and decided to make you want to hire them. One of the things that we want to be cautious here about, and it's going to put up a red flag, is that when you are writing something specific about that employee, you want to still make sure that you are following your at-will laws. If you are not comfortable and don't know about at-wills, take our 15-minute at-will training session so that you can make sure that you don't say or say anything in the letter that might compromise your at-will employment. Then the last thing that you would want to address could be anything that you feel that you want to add. Something like your customer service commitment that your store has. So Gen Zs and Gen Ys like things to be very specific to them. So their individually hired paragraph would be very attractive to them. Then you can also attach a link to any of the paperwork that you want them to fill out before they come in for the offer. So incorporating employees, the first thing you should do is introduce the employees around the store when they come to work for you. If you have a large store, you're going to want to take them around the store, show them where the restroom is, and show them the other departments of the store. You don't need to get specific if they are not going to be working within that department, but you want to give them a general overview and you want to introduce them to the employees in the other sections that they're not going to be working. For smaller stores, you can just walk them through the store and go over the general areas of the product and the flow of the store. While introducing them to fellow coworkers, if they have something in common with that coworker, it's a great time to bring it up to help build a connection between the coworkers. Sharing with the coworker what past skills this new employee has that makes them an excellent addition to the team is also a great way to get them incorporated within the team. You want to get a connection going between the employees. In an ideal world, if the employee's direct manager with the in ideal world, the employee's direct manager would be there to meet the new employee and work with them. But if that doesn't work, you want to make sure that when the manager is working next with that employee, that the manager goes up and introduces themselves right away. You want to encourage your existing team members to include them in anything like group lunches, or if somebody's running out to get coffee, to ask them if they would want to be included in that. The first day of employment should be with someone that can mentor the employee. You're trying to build relationships and you want to encourage communication. And this will get your retention rate higher. Have you ever been a new person in a group and felt like an outsider? The quickest way to bridge this gap between the new hires feeling like the odd man out and you want to make them feel like the part of the team. So assigning them a mentor is a great way to help them feel connected to other people in work. You don't want your new employee to struggle without knowing where they can get help. The mentor is someone who they can reach out to for the best practices, help them with the point of sale system, or any other areas within the job that they need help with. The new employee should know where to turn when they have questions or if they need help. 17% of employees will quit their job within the first month of employment. 16% of employees quit their job within the first week of employment. And 14% of employees quit after 6 months. Do you know what your retention rate numbers are? If they are high, then consider a more effective retention program. Remember to view our other videos for any other areas of retaining employees. You want to make sure that you stay connected with your employees. If you're hiring an employee that you don't see all the time, make sure that you stay connected with them about how things are going. Retail businesses have a unique situation where they can have employees that they never see. They need to make an effort to stay in contact with them. In this day and age, it's easy to stay in contact with people you don't see. Even if you see the employees all the time, make sure you take time to meet with them one-on-one to discuss how things are going. A good guideline is to meet with new employees at the end of the day at least 3 times during the first week to discuss any feedback they have. When meeting with new employees, ask them about the training and how it's going. Ask if they have any suggestions on training. Many people learn in different ways. To know how this employee learns will be the best way to help them succeed in their job. Ask questions like, what is the easiest part of your job so far? What part of your job do you find most challenging? Is there anything in the training manual that you find difficult to understand? Are your questions being answered? Encourage your employees to ask questions to make sure the employees can get a hold of you if they have any questions. This can be the hardest part of the retail industry. With having evening and weekend hours, sometimes you may never see those part-time employees, and you don't want them to feel left out in the cold. So make sure they know what is the best way to get a hold of you. Email, text messages, InstaChat, or stop in or call you or stop into your office. One red flag that you want to be aware of, if you do use text messages or InstaChat, some of the more casual conversation ways, you want to make sure that you still are keeping them professional. Think twice before sending a smiley emoji if it wouldn't be appropriate in a business setting. Managerial employees, new hires, they will need to take more onboarding. Some new hire managers may not feel comfortable taking the initiative during the first weeks or months. Be sure to let a new hire know what freedoms they have. For example, can they write up an employee at will on the first day? Or do they have a training period where they need their reviews looked at before being handed out? View our training videos on proper disciplinary techniques if you have any questions. Managers need a more detailed training program to help them succeed. A schedule of product training, HR training, and point of sales training program should be scheduled out for them. Giving managers the proper training will give them the tools to hire and work with the best employees, train employees on products, coach employees for higher success, which in turn will retrain even more employees. Consider the points from the Avanaver group and talent-wise. 76% of companies have extended their employee onboarding process beyond 1 month. An ongoing integration program helps employees understand the expectations that their supervisors and managers have for them. When replacing an employee, it takes 8 months for employees to get all the knowledge of their job. So integrating an employee should take as long as 8 months in order to help them get integrated within the system. A week is just not long enough anymore. You should have a checklist of things that you want to go over with an employee on the first 30 days. On the checklist, you can have things like taking returns, taking damaged product returns, giving gift receipts, or to specific product knowledge. An employee can be given a checklist of products they will be discussed and when they will be discussed with them. Onboarding over time allows you to provide more product training and allows managers, mentors, and other relationships to grow. Product training does not only need to be done by the manager either. It can also be assigned to an employee's mentor. Mentors should also have the ability to help the employee understand the company's mission, vision, and to discuss the company's plan and stick to core values. During the 90-day period, you should be giving feedback frequently, both for good and problem issues. If problems are discussed in a non-confrontational manner, sooner rather than later, the employee has the chance to change their action before problems become habit. If an employee is a little slow on projects for the first 90 days, encourage the employee while reminding them that it might take some time to get up to speed, but they should be up to speed by 90 days. Show employees different ways of doing something to make the task go faster. At the 90-day mark, review the employee's strengths and create a plan for that employee to help grow based on those strengths. Always remember that communication is the avenue to success and that all employees, especially new hires, need to know what they are doing. Also, during the first 90 days, look for additional strengths the employees may have. They may be able to contribute to a higher or different position, or may have insight to make changes to make the current position better. After 90 days, you can move to a performance review system. You can do a 6-month mark performance review and then a year mark performance review. 69% of employees say they would work harder if they felt their efforts were better recognized. 15% of companies have lowered their turnover rate by providing performance reviews. And 65% of employees say they want more feedback. Recognition is the #1 thing that employees say their manager could give them to help them to inspire to grow and be greater workers. Performance reviews are a great way to do that. Performance reviews have different categories that employees can be reviewed on. Here are a few following categories that you can use. Customer service skills. This would look at things like, does the employee have a warm rapport with customers they come in contact with? Do they follow up on customers to ensure that they don't feel forgotten? Do they take customers to products, or do they just point to them and say, oh, it's over there on the end? Do they consistently answer the phone with a smile and friendly tone? Adherence to policy. To the degree of which the employee follows the company policies, such as the return policy or time off request policy or register procedures, or on the floor while customers are presented to reduce shrinkages. Another option would be attendance and punctuality. This provides ample notice. Does the employee provide ample notice for time off? Do they take time off as allowed by workflow for the length of time they are assigned and approved by supervisors? And are they on the floor and ready to work on a scheduled shift? Those are just a few of the sections that you can have in your performance review policies. So providing your employees with more attention and more opportunity to discuss their job will definitely give you a higher retention rate. For any more questions that you might have about hiring and retention, please feel free to give us an email and give us a call. I want to thank you very much for attending our class today. Please also look at our hiring on social media. That we have a great class on how to help you get out there more and hire more Gen Z and Gen Y employees through social media. And hints and tips on performance reviews are a few other 15-minute HR classes that we have available for you. Thank you very much.